I really appreciate all your hard work. It appears that my impression about you is right. I knew that you would come through and bring closure to this incident. Yeah, but the army took off with all the glory, so I don't know if we could exactly say that we solved the case. No, that's not true. If you hadn't been there, I don't know if the army's raid would have been so successful. Backed into a corner as they were, the Sky Bandits may very well have harmed the hostages. Agreed, everything worked out because you infiltrated their hideout and took them out ahead of time. You should be proud of what you've done. You really think so? Teehee. It's true that the hostages were freed and the Sky Bandits arrested, but it's a bit vexing to know that there are still some unanswered questions left. Yeah, I mean, we're only at the end of Chapter 1, and there are 4 chapters in the game. I forget if there's an extra finale chapter after 4, though. The men who appeared at the Valeria Lakeshore and the mystifying attitude of the leader of the Sky Bandits. I think we should consider that there's a lot behind this incident that we don't know about. Well, I guess we'll have to leave that part up to the Royal Army to figure out. Because they've been doing so well with that lately, so far, I mean. With all the culprits being detained by them, there's really not much left we can do. Anyway, we should just be glad that all the hostages came back safe. Thanks to the news about the arrest of the Sky Bandits, things are returning to normal here in town. As a token of my thanks, I've added a bit of a bonus to your reward. Really? Are you okay with that? I mean, if she's willing to spend 500,000 Mira on a bottle of wine... Haha, of course I am. I'd like to thank you too, Olivier. I just hope that my work was worth the price of that Grand Chardonnay. Yes, in fact, there is change to spare. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and if anything else comes up, I'd greatly appreciate your help again. Good day. Why can't all the NPCs in this game be as nice as Mayor Maybell? Wow, nice that someone appreciates us. I'm sure that if the incident had gone on any longer, it would have caused much more confusion. It's probably only natural that the mayor is as happy as she is. Now I'm starting to feel all giddy inside. I don't think a bracer could be any more happy than knowing her work helped out a bunch of other people. Or hey, if you say so. But I think it's safe to say that you're no longer greenhorns. Honestly, the two of you really surprised me this time. Teehee, you think so? At any rate, please accept your assessment and pay for clearing up the incident. Get 8,000 Mira, 10 BP, and 5th class junior bracer. We get the Haze Quartz. Here's the pay the mayor was talking about. It's a very, very nice sum. And this is from me. We get a recommendation. Isn't this a recommendation from the Bose branch? Is it alright to give this to us so soon? Of course, it would be downright rude of me not to recommend you after resolving such a big incident. Please accept it. Thank you, Lugrin. We'll work hard so that we don't bring any embarrassment on this recommendation. Haha, great work, you two. I'm sure your father would be extremely pleased if he heard the news. Sure. You're probably right. I wonder what on earth Cassius could be doing right now. Not contacting the guild is one thing, but not contacting his family is a completely different matter. Yeah, it's definitely not like him. After he suddenly disembarked from the airliner in Bose, I wonder where he could have gone. Excuse me, please. Aren't you that receptionist from the landing port? What's the matter? You see, we recovered some of the cargo stolen by the Sky Bandits, and among some of the pieces were a number of parcels addressed to the Bracer Guild. So I'm here to deliver one of them today. I appreciate you doing that. But wait a minute. Why is there something addressed to this branch when the airliner left Bose to begin with? It's actually addressed to the Roland branch. But aren't Cassius Bright's family members here? What? That's us, but... Oh, perfect. We contacted the Roland branch and they said you had come here. Here you are, this is the parcel. This letter, yep, it's in Dad's handwriting. It's addressed to Joshua and I at the Roland branch. It seems as if he just scribbled it out before he got off the airliner. I guess Dad did intend on getting in contact with us after all. Oh. Well, that's good to hear. So that parcel is from your dad, too. Oh, this one looks like it was sent to my dad by someone else. Huh? That's odd. Yeah, the sender hasn't written their name anywhere. Okay, my business here is done, so I'll be on my way. Oh, and one other thing. Good job in helping arrest those sky bandits. You bracers sure do excellent work. And to think that a clue about your father would be mixed in with the airliner's cargo. Feel free to use the lounge upstairs to read his letter if you'd like. Thanks, Lugren. Well then, let's have a look at the contents, shall we? Do you mind telling me what you're still doing here? It's just plain and simple curiosity, that's all. Why did your father disembark the airliner prior to its departure? Were I forced to wait around for an answer, the question would stick in my mind so I'd never be able to sleep at night. And you're telling me this because... Oh, how heartless and cruel can you be to a companion who has traveled alongside you? What a drama queen. Well, relatively speaking, of course. And just who is it you have to thank for being able to infiltrate the Sky Bandits' hideout, I wonder? Alright already. You can be a rather obnoxious fellow, I hope you know. I guess we don't have much of a choice. However, depending on the content, we may have to ask you to leave, okay? Of course I understand. Alright, let's see what he has to say. Dear Estelle and Joshua, I'm sure you're probably about finished with the jobs I left for you, right? Oh boy! We're finished with them, alright. I'm also sure that there are many things you'll have trouble with in the beginning, but take each one step at a time. I know you both can succeed. Anyway, it turns out that I've had a little trouble with my own work. And unfortunately, it looks like I won't be able to make it home for quite some time. Please don't expect my return until after the Queen's birthday celebration. I'm really sorry that things turned out like they did, but you should be grown up enough not to be lonely while I'm away. So until I get back, I'll leave it up to the both of you to decide how you want to live. You're free to continue working in Roland, or you're free to pursue qualifying as a senior bracer. Your 16th year is a vintage time in your life, so make sure not to waste it. Please give my regards to Sherazard and Ina. Cassius Bright. That seems like the type of letter your father would write. It touches lightly on things, but it's full of consideration toward the both of you. Yeah, it looks that way. The Queen's birthday celebration, is it? From what I've heard, that's still a ways off. Yep, it's about 2 or 3 months away. Which means this would be the perfect time to take a small trip. I really wonder where your father is and what he's up to. Forget about that and let's focus on what's in that package. With an unknown sender, there's bound to be something interesting inside. To be honest, I'm pretty curious myself, but we shouldn't be opening things addressed to my dad. Why don't you think of it this way? It was a package delivered by an unknown sender about the time your father disappeared. The two might be related, you know. That's true. Olivier, don't coax Estelle into doing something to satisfy your own curiosity. Actually, though, Olivier does have a good point. Instead of leaving it until our dad comes home, it might be worth looking into. Okay, let's check it out. Estelle opened the parcel in the unknown sender. A shiny black hemispherical device, huh? And a single memo with the item. And suddenly tetracyclic tower music. What's this supposed to be? It's an orbment, although I'm not sure what it's used for. Let's see what the memo says. I was able to secure the item the aforesaid group was carrying, so please take care of it. Please ask Professor R to do an analysis of it when you find an opportunity. K. That's it? Yep, it looks like the sender didn't write anything else. Shara, do you have any idea who K or Professor R might be? I hate to say this, but I don't have a clue for either. Your father's pretty well known, so there's a possibility these people could be foreigners, too. If this is the only thing we've got to go on, then honestly I'm about ready to throw in the towel. Got to go on. What the heck is this black orbment anyway? From the shape alone, it doesn't look like anything intended for general use. although it feels a little similar to a battle orbment. Even so, it's still quite different. A normal battle orbment has slots in which to install quartz, but this one has none. Maybe this one is an artifact. An artifact? Precisely. An artifact is an orbment created by an ancient civilization. Artifacts are the models for all orbments produced today. They're still occasionally discovered in ruins, and for the most part the Septian Church has custody over them. They're a type of antique, so to speak. But this one doesn't appear to be that old. It looks to me like it was made recently. You're right about that. However, this one almost seems like a black market item. Well, it is black. Jeez, now look at what's happened because of my good-for-nothing dad. Doesn't he know that we're all worried about him? Estelle? Now he's getting some sketchy item from an unknown sender. What in the world has my dad gotten himself into this time? Estelle. You know, Estelle, I've been thinking. It's a good habit to do. How about we continue our journey? Huh? Joshua? That's what Dad wrote in his letter, right? He said, or your... Gosh, what is wrong with my throat? He said, or you're free to pursue qualifying as a senior bracer. Yeah, he did say that, but we've already managed to get recommendations from Roland and Bose, right? All that's left are Ruan, Zeiss, and Gransel. Only those three. If we do jobs as we travel around to these other regions, we just might hear something about where Dad is or what he's doing. I think we're just worrying ourselves for nothing, considering Dad's skills. And there's also the possibility that he may have even traveled abroad. But I think getting off our own duffs is a lot better than just sitting around and waiting. And we just might be able to find this Professor R, too. Joshua? What? You're a genius! Hey, Estelle, what are you talking about? This is like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or maybe even 10. Why would you kill 2 birds with 10 stones? Sometimes I hate you for being so smart. So, should I consider that a yes? Oh, is it ever? Yes, yes, triple yes! Training to be senior bracers as we travel around Labril, and exposing what that no-good middle-aged man has been doing in the process. I think you're somehow missing the point. It looks like she's back to her old self. Haha, I guess it's settled then. Well, take care. I'm going to head back to Roland now. That said, I'm still a little worried about you two. Are you sure you don't want me to come along? Give it a rest, Shara. We'll be fine. The whole reason we're going on this trip is to become senior bracers. It wouldn't be training anymore if you came with us. And if you didn't go back, the Roland branch would have a hard time managing things. Don't worry about us. We'll figure out a way to get things done. Well, if you insist. It's pretty rare for someone your age to be aiming for senior bracer status, so don't overdo it. And if you run into any trouble, contact the Roland branch. You got it? I'll come running no matter where you are. Sure, thanks, Shara. And the same goes for you. Don't get yourself too liquored up. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Well, that, and she should probably give us her equipment and quartz. Alright, I'll watch the number of drinks. Ha, never fear, dear children. You can count on me to protect fair Shara. And why are you headed to Roland? Not to mention with Shara. That's because I've tasted all there is to taste of the local dishes here in Bose. And I thought it was about time I turned my attentions toward another region. As for Roland's cuisine, I've heard the produce is just to die for, so that's what I'm looking forward to next. That's pretty much it. He says he wants me to introduce him to a nice restaurant and some lovely vegetables or some such nonsense. Since he's so persistent, I only agreed to him coming along under the condition that he go drinking with me at the bar. That can only end well. We'll never see him alive again. Olivier, I really hope you understand what you've promised her. Ha, I could die for the likes of fine women and food. Well, you're gonna. Part of me longs to be by your side as you continue your journey, Joshua. But after many agonizing hours of consideration, I've decided to accompany fair Sherazard instead. Good, she's closer to your age. I think I'll be better off with you a safe distance away from me. Well, have fun, but I'm warning you, don't you dare make any trouble in Roland, you hear me? And here's another piece of advice. When Cher's at the bar, watch out. That's when the gloves come off. I'm seriously not joking when I say you should beware. How dare you speak about your mentor like that, Estelle? And besides, Ina's coming along too. Yeah, and she's even worse than you. The gloves come off, huh? Is that perchance what you and Estelle were talking about before? Yes, Estelle said it best, though. It was nice knowing you. Yes, it was a pleasure. Eh? The Roland-bound airliner will be departing shortly. All passengers, please board the airship now. Well, Ollie boy, it looks like it's time for us to leave. Come on now, we better hurry and get on. Shara, wait, can't we talk this over? I'd really appreciate it if I had just a little more time to think things through. Surely you're not getting cold feet already. If you consider yourself a man, then quit acting like a ninny. Eek. See you later, Shara. Give her regards to everyone in Roland. Have a wonderful trip, you two. And end of chapter 1. Wrong button. And that's about the gist of the Sky Bandit incident that occurred in northern Liberal. And to think that the bankrupt Capua family drifted all the way down here. You might be contacted by a Liberal regarding the incident, so deal with it as you see fit. Yeah, it turns out I wasn't able to meet him in the end. It seems like something else must have come up. Also, the connection with the Sky Bandit incident is still unknown, but it's clear that another power is at work here. Mysterious voice. Also new music. No, it's not like that at all. I've also become acquainted with an interesting bunch. The food's great and there are babes everywhere. This is unquestionably my kind of country. Maybe I'll just take up permanent residence here while I'm at it. Alright, there's no need to throw a fit. Anyway, see what else you can find out. Just don't get caught looking into things by the Chancellor. I'll contact you again, my dear friend. Haha, I love messing with that guy. He's just so stuffy and uptight that I can't help myself. A portable phone, huh? Well, aren't you carrying around quite the nifty gadget? Shara. And the fact that you're carrying around an orbment that even the Zeiss Central factory couldn't create, well... How about you tell me who you really are? Come on, Shara, don't treat me like I'm some kind of stranger. I'm Olivier Lenheim, the wandering bard and gifted musician you've come to adore. But if you'd like to get to know me better, I'm sure we could arrange something. A little pillow talk, perhaps? Pillow talk? What's that? How about we skip the foreplay and go straight to the climax? Well, that's an awkward innuendo. Your cheap antics don't fool me, Olivier. Or should I call you Mr. Erebonian Operative? It looks like the title Silver Streak isn't just for show. So I guess you were pretending that you didn't notice in front of Estelle and Joshua, huh? I don't want to worry those two any more than they already are. So back to the subject at hand, why don't you start talking? Who are you and what are you doing in Liberal? Before that, I'm going to have to correct you on 2 points. First off, these cheap antics, as you call them, are totally natural. I'm not play acting or anything, that's just who I am. That's what worries me. Oh, I'm sure. So do you mean to tell me that you drank that wine without paying just because you felt like it? And after that, being taken to the Hawken Gate so you could gather information was all a part of the plan? And you even set yourself up to run into us? I don't think so. I'll leave that part up to your imagination. The other thing I must correct you on is that this device is not an orbment. It is an artifact that was unearthed in the Empire. It can piggyback off any orbital communication system, and its transmissions can be encrypted. So there's no worry about them being intercepted. It comes in handy for a busy man such as myself. An artifact, like one of the sacred relics the Septian Church has stewardship over. Now I'm all the more curious to know what you're after. Oh, no, Shara. You should never try to pry into the secrets of a mysterious beauty all at once. How would you like to get to know a real woman? I'd be more than willing to show you with my whip. Again with the whip. Shara, I don't see any humor in those eyes. Well, jokes aside, you really should have just been straightforward from the beginning. As you have already figured out, my position is like that of an operative in the Empire. But I have no intention of sabotaging anything or stealing classified information. I merely came here to meet a certain someone. A certain someone? Yes, someone you know all too well. The one lauded as the supreme swordsman and master strategist by the Royal Army. The bracer with the special title belonging to but 4 people throughout the whole of the entire continent. The divine blade Cassius Bright is the one I seek. Chapter 2, Madrigal of the White Magnolia. Odd title. I mean, I know it's a reference to something, but I forget what immediately. Let's see, if we're going to travel around the entire kingdom, then our next destination is the Rouen region. I wonder which route we should take to get there. About that, so you're really not planning on using an airliner? I think it's going to be quite the detour if we head there on foot. You remember what Shara said, right? We need to walk and actually see the places we protect first. Or was it Dad who said that? Well, I guess since we have some time on our hands, it wouldn't be a bad thing to head there on foot. We could save the money it would cost to use an airliner. Great idea, we can use the money we saved to go shopping at the Beau's Market. Now that I think about it, they have more airships than cars in this universe. After all, we didn't have the time to spend shopping around leisurely during the whole Sky Bandit mess. And then we could leave after that, so what do you think? I don't care either way, but try not to waste too much money. Just so you know, in order to enter the Rouen region, we'll need to go through the Crone Pass to the west. Once you're done shopping, let's leave through the West Gate. Okay, the West Gate, right? Well, I can't think of anything we need in the Beau's Market that we haven't already gotten. And I don't think they've gotten any new stock in. Let's see. So we do need to finish one thing. And that is the Stolen Ring side quest. Just need to remember where the person in question was. Also, did we actually get the orbments back from before? Looks like we did. Okay, good that the game took that into account. Because, yeah, I'm fairly sure the Evade 2 was on Sherazard. And Oliveira had an HP 2. So, let's see. We're on the North Block. Or no, we're on the South Block. You're the one who lost the ring, right? Excuse me, you're Lana, right? Yes, that's right. Is there something I can help you with? Actually, we found a ring that looks something like the one mentioned in the job request at the guild. If we could, we'd like to have you take a look at it. Really? Truly? Most sincerely? Oh, who would have ever thought this would come back to me like this? So, there's no doubt that this is the ring that was stolen? Yeah, the Sky Bandits put it in a treasure chest in their hideout for some reason. No, this is the one that was stolen, alright. It was a memento from my mother. I would know it anywhere. I see. It must be really important to you then, right? I had almost believed that I would never see it again. I don't know how I can ever repay you for finding this. Hehe, I'm just glad we could help. So I guess our work here is done, unless there's something else. No, that's all, and once again, thank you for finding this for me. Well then, if that's all, we'll leave you to your business. Have a nice day. Okay, let's go turn in another quest. There isn't any new stock at these stores either, right? I mean, I don't know why there would be, considering... Oh, I never did buy that. Well, I mean, we're just about done in bows anyway, so not much point in buying stuff here when we could buy stuff in Rouen in just a couple minutes. Whoops. They wouldn't post any more... Okay, good. I didn't think so. So we'll just report that. 113 BP. So, all that's left to do before we head out is check out that new quartz we just got. Haze. Worth 2 Earth and 3 Mirage. Enemies become unaware of presence. So that can actually be pretty useful, especially in conjunction with another quartz later on. Well, actually, I'll just tell you. So the scent quartz, you might wonder why you'd want to attract enemies, and I don't know why you would either, but that one does have decent elemental value, so you might equip it for that reason alone. But if you combine it with Haze, then you don't have to worry about the enemy attraction effect. I think Haze takes precedence over... over scent. But in any case, we're not going to worry about that yet anyway. I don't think we have anything we need to replace with that. So that's worth... Let's see. Okay, that doesn't help any. Well, we're going to get more quartz in Rouen anyway, so... Yeah. And we've already been to the Crone Pass. Didn't miss any recipes here, right? Didn't think so. Never hurts to be careful. Remember that incident with the recipes in Roland, after all. Whoops, that's not where I meant to go. How much money do we have? 25,302. And we'll probably spend it on, like, 2 pieces of equipment in Rouen. So anyway, I'd say we've done enough for now. So, next time we will be heading to the next town. See you then!